setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
And welcome to the WBT. This is Michael Lodge. Glad you've joined me. It's another podcast Sunday. What is our conversation going to be about? Well, it's going to be about debt. So get prepared. I'll be right back.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518. Or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
I'm highly concerned because I'm looking at a lot of my clients and a lot of the financial coaching that I'm doing to individuals, and I'm seeing way too much debt. Now, I understand that sometimes you need to go out and get a car, but we need to think about how we're spending our finances. We need to be good stewards of our money. We have to practice good money management. Here's some issues that I'm seeing happening, and I don't really like it because I'm seeing the use of credit going up every single year. If you look at the average American, they use over a third, and I think it's higher than that, but a third of their budget, his or her budget, to pay down debt. They're not focusing on paying it all down because they're only taking a third. That is a problem. That was a study done in 2019 from Northwestern Mutual. So we're seeing people trying to pay down their debt, but they're just not making any headway because they're probably paying the minimum. And you need to start thinking and focusing on, how am I going to get this down and what am I going to have to cut in order to get there? We tell this to the government all the time. You keep raising our taxes, but you think about nothing about how to cut down on our debt, national debt. Spend, but very little focus on the debt. And that's what Americans are doing also with their personal debt. 15% of people believe they will be paying this debt off for the rest of their life. I think it's higher than that because you guys keep going into more and more debt. When you keep going into more debt, for the rest of your life, you'll be paying it off unless you make a mindful change to stop creating debt. And the experts say that the significant amount of this debt is explained by a money disorder. I know a lot of you have this disorder. And that disorder is it can be explained away as a anxiety. It can be depression. Or maybe even some trauma that you've had. And it makes you feel good to go out there and spend that money. Let's whip out our card and buy that $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag. Well, let's go on that really expensive vacation because it's really going to make me feel good. That's how Americans think. I've thought that way too. I have no debt anymore because I've learned to set my money's mindset that if I don't have the money, I'm not going to spend it. If I can't buy a car with cash, I'm not going to spend it. If I can't go on vacation without having any debt, I'm going to save up my cash so I can use it to pay for vacation. I think about the process. And you need to think about your disorder also. If you are spending so much on your credit cards and you're not making all that much money, it's not good. You know what? You know, the average household, the average American, if you have a credit card in your pocketbook someplace or in your hand, you have about $8,284 in credit card debt. That's the average for the American household. Now, I know a lot of you have a lot more debt than that. And that is the sad spot that we're in as Americans, is that we're not focusing and changing our mindset on how we're spending money. Debt it's evil. It's evil. Consumer debt is at $13.51 trillion. And that includes mortgages, auto loans, credit cards, and student loans. Now that is a scary situation when we know that in America we have that much debt sitting out there. It's even sicker in my mind when I know that the American government has even tremendous amount of debt. But that is the problem. We have gone into this thinking, yeah, debt is okay. Debt is fine. Let's go ahead and go out there and spend it. Even though we don't have the money to pay for it, even though we're not making that much, let's go ahead. That's good. That makes the economy go around. And here you spend 21% on those credit cards, and you're still not paying down your debt. Think about that amount of money. If you were to be able to take that money that you're sending to the credit cards and put it into a retirement plan for yourself when you grow old, which goes by very fast. I'm telling you that because I'm old and it went by very fast. But if you were able to take that money and put it to the side, invest it well into your retirement program, think how rich you would be by the time you could retire. You could retire early because you've got enough money saved up. But instead, you keep spending, and you never pay down your debt. And most of you are sitting there, I don't think I'll ever pay this down. I don't know if I'll ever pay down my college debt. Well, that college debt, you know what? You made that decision to go into debt. And that's where you should have stopped and said, and you parents who are listening to me, who have kids about ready to go into college or university, think a little bit. Because if you're going to go into $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 in debt, depending on what field you go into, you are a fool because you can do it much better. Either by going to an in-state school or going to a community college to get your lower level stuff done. Listen, you have got to think a little bit instead of thinking, I've got to go in debt for education. No, you don't have to go into debt. So listen, if you went into debt for your education, that's because you did not think. You did not put it into a priority of how am I going to pay for this when I'm done. I know people at my age, they're still paying down on their debt. So we have got to think. We've got to think a lot about what we're doing. You know, God tells us in Romans 13:7, He's very clear about this. Very, very clear. He says, pay to all what is owed to them. Taxes to whom taxes are owed. Revenue to whom revenue is owed. Respect to whom respect is owed. Honor to whom honor is owed. Those are your responsibilities. And God was talking, and He said to His people at one point in time, because He could see that they were going into debt and how bad business policies that they were forming, and then He said, the Lord will open for you His good storehouse, the heavens to give, rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. And you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. And then in many parts of the Bible, it even says that you will become slaves because of the borrowing that you get into, which you have become. I hate being a slave. It's not a good experience to be sitting there every single month, writing a check and not knowing if you have enough cash in the bank to cover the debt that you have incurred. That is the worst feeling ever. And then we have the guts to say, Lord, help me. Help me with my debt. When we made the decisions to create that debt, when you took out your credit card to buy something, you made that decision right there. My wants are more than what I will have responsible for paying this. I don't care that I'm going to owe because I really want it. But that selfish mentality that says, I want this, I need it, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm lonely. If I just buy something, I will feel so much better. But it doesn't work, because then you have the negative feeling, the awful feeling, the evil feeling that now you've got to pay it back with interest. With interest. I'm going to end this by, I wrote this thing this morning because it's about your legacy. And your legacy, if it's going to be about debt, you're not leaving anybody anything. Your legacy is not about what building has your name on it, how much money you have, what cars you drive, or the bling you wear. No one will remember you for egoism, because it's all about ego to have all that junk. Your legacy is very, very simple. Listen to me very carefully. Your legacy is how you treated others that you came in contact with, and those you helped from the very bottom of your heart. I tell you, by the grace of God, when I look at a homeless person, I think, if I were in debt, I might be at that point. If I could not control my mental ability to not go into debt, I could be in that tent that's on Lancashire Boulevard in Los Angeles. I could be that individual. I could be living with those individuals who are addicted to something, addicted to cocaine, addicted to crack, addicted to whatever they're addicted to, because they have chosen in their mental health process, because they feel so bad, they're under their depression, under their mentality, that drugs get them out of that state of feeling depressed until it wears off. And they have to go into reality of having to deal with it one more day. And that's the same point where a lot of you people out there are at this moment, is that you are dealing with this as an addict. Because either you have not chosen to strengthen your mental ability to focus on debt and focus on your finances, that you're just the same person that's sitting out there in the tent, wasting his life away for a short period of time, buying that quick fix that was going to make them feel good for just that short period of time, but in the end, they have to deal with it. Be a good steward of your mind. Be a good steward of your money. Think about this. If you need help, just send me a text at 818-252-5682, 818-252-5682, and I'll be more than happy to reach out to you. But I want you to become good stewards, because by the grace of God, you could be that person sitting out there, addicted to something that is going to harm your financial life and harm your mental life for the rest of your life. You need to become stronger in your spirituality, stronger in the way that you think, and stronger in the way that you manage your money. I'll talk with you very soon, by the grace of God.
Thank you for your grace, your amazing grace. Thank you for the way that you forgive me every day. Thank you for your grace, your amazing grace. Great is your mercy. Thank Thank you for your grace. How could I breathe without it? How could I move without it? I couldn't live without it. Your grace, no single word without it. How could I speak without it? I wouldn't want to sing without it. Your grace, thank you for your grace, your amazing grace. Thank you for the way that you forgive me every day. Thank you for your grace, your amazing grace. Great is your mercy. Thank you for your grace. Imagine the world without it. There'd be no hope without it. No chance of peace without it. Your grace. Now that I understand it, by everything demanded, no longer take for granted. The everlasting saving power of grace. I know I don't deserve. Oh, grace that Calvary reserved for me. Oh, grace that takes my breath away. I lift my hands to worship you, so let me live to worship you.
Thank you for your grace, your amazing grace.
Your grace,
Thank you for the way that you forgive me every day.
every
Thank
day.
you for your grace, your amazing grace. Great is your mercy. Thank you for your grace.
Thank you for your grace, your amazing grace. Thank you for the way that you forgive me every day.
This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.
Your amazing grace, great is your mercy. Thank you for your